Gather round, friends, new and old, and welcome to Roast and Toast. I am your host with the most, David, joined by my mostest hostess on the other side of the microphone here, Philip and Jenny.
I'm just with the hostess, the hostess.
You're just the boast.
Hello,
Well,
once
guys,
again, we are all three. Haha, look at
we
that.
are three. We are a thruple once more.
Once more onto the thruple bridge.
Full team here to present a very exciting episode to you guys. But before we get to that, I just got to catch up with you guys. I haven't seen you in so long.
Yes.
What is going on with you guys in life?
Well, I have started my rehearsals for my next show. If you're in Phoenix, I am once again performing with all puppet players. We are performing a parody of It, hence the title Pup It, running in September through October. It's going to be very fun. And if you're coming to see the performance, you might see a familiar voice on stage as a very evil clown. So you wouldn't want to miss this one.
Ooh, consider me excited.
I am Pennywise. It's official.
Congratulations,
Wow.
Jenny. You're playing these
Thank
roles.
you.
Congratulations. One show to the next, lead roles and killing it.
Yes,
Wow.
sir. Yes, sir. It's been really fun so far. We've only started dipping our toes into the dairy floods of lore, but I cannot wait to put
The
this thing on
dairy
its feet.
floods?
The dairy floods. If the fans will know. The fans will know. Lots of flooding in Derry, Maine. Anyway, what's new with you guys?
In It. Oh, yes.
Yes,
they live
in It. Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you, but I had some horrific images of assorted dairy flooding whatever arenas could possibly be flooded. And that's why I was like, I might not see this show anymore. All right, Jenny.
No dairy was used.
We all
in the
know
making
how
of this
gassy
production.
you get, Philip.
I do. Dairy does me dirty.
Dairy
This
does
is
it,
for
yeah.
certain. I will be 100% honest. I had something to say, and then the whole dairy visage overtook me. So while I think of that, David, what happened during your week?
Well, my month, really, it's been a month of ups and downs and a whole lot, but this weekend have a barbecue planned with several family, friends and some colleagues coming over. Which is
wonderful.
nice. So that's this evening, and looking very
Are
much
me and Jenny
forward to
invited?
that. You are not.
Oh,
The truth comes out.
we are explicitly not invited, Jenny.
Yeah, I very deliberately did not invite you guys. Okay.
Oh man.
We all know Philip will be sleeping at that time anyway. So
By that time,
yeah, it's gonna be a nice evening. That's all. Forget the week that's past. I'm looking forward only.
All right, Philly cheese. What happened to you this week?
Oh, that's right. I thought I went. Sorry. So what happened this week? I still maintain, I think I've said this before, but an exquisite date spot. If ever you should, support local theater and at the same time go to an improv troupe. It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's
That's a
impossible
fun date.
not to be a good time. And should they not laugh, that's a red flag. That is a legit red flag, not one of these phony red flags that exist around there. No, that did not happen. Jenny was looking in shock.
Unless
and
it's
awe.
just not funny.
That's fair. That's fair. That is fair. But most of the times, even if it's a mercy laugh out of just like, oh, I saw where you were going and that wasn't that funny, but ha ha ha. Even if there's not that, then I would say
that if you're both not laughing, then maybe you're meant to be together. I don't know.
as long as you can share the same comedy. If it's one thing if it's not to the same level of laughter, it's another if it's dead silence on the other end of the line. You're absolutely right, Dave.
Ouch.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
David, you weren't here last week, but we did provide an update towards the blockbuster standings, and that did include the opening of one packed dynamic duo of Barbenheimer.
Yeah.
Which has vaulted Jenny to the lead. Now, that will be discussed at a later date and time as now we can see the full success that the, dare I say, global and historic cinematic event. I say that these two will now forever be linked in history together, cinematically at least. And certainly not, Barbie with the real life Oppenheimer. No correlation.
No,
there
I don't
whatsoever.
think so. it was quite a record-breaking weekend.
Yes,
And I can only hope now that The Meg grosses like $1 billion in its opening weekend.
Yeah, maybe internationally, but yes, I think it's only fair that we start out a little odd before we even get to the summary. I think we should start out with, as all three of us have seen both
movies.
Yeah, all three of us have seen both.
Somehow,
films.
By the grace of the universe, I have managed to see both. So yes, huzzah!
Yes,
and we all saw the double feature, right? We all went to go see it
back to back. Now the question is, and we haven't asked this, who saw it in what order? I'll start first. I saw Oppenheimer first, followed by Barbie, and I sincerely I didn't even intend to. I wanted to go reverse, but
really?
I would say. I know. I would say Oppenheimer to Barbie is both the preferred and correct way to go about that. Did you both go that same route?
Yes,
of course.
I did Oppenheimer and then Barbie.
Oppenheimer was dinner and Barbie was dessert.
There it is.
And I don't know that I would have had the energy to go through a 3-hour movie after already sitting for 2 hours watching Barbie. You know, like Barbie felt easy to get through in just time wise after watching Oppenheimer already. I ate so much popcorn that day.
So much. We needed that extra large refill.
I had several Barbie cocktails.
Yes. Jenny with her seasonal and movie drink of the
I don't know what it is. Our movie reviews keep lining up with Harkins' drink menu, so I just keep getting lucky every single time with the fun drinks. It's great. The Barbie drink, by the way, is white wine and watermelon and lime. It was delicious.
That's close to what you predicted there, Jenny, on last week's episode. You thought that it might be something similar to that. So very good. Very good. All right.
Nailed it.
We've talked about it. I think we all would recommend, should you at this point have not done both, or you are waiting for streaming and going to do it at home, whatever it may be. Oppenheimer first, then Barbie. With that in mind, let's start out that way here and now. David, give us a short little summary, a little seasoning of Oppenheimer, please.
In a time of bold new scientific undertakings and life-altering discoveries, we follow J. Robert Oppenheimer through several chapters of his life. He is a young man proving himself a powerful mind and surrounding himself with some of the biggest names in science. He is a respected professor of physics teaching the next wave of brilliant minds. He is a troubled soul, struggling through the aftermath of the world he helped to create and dealing with the scrutiny of an ungrateful and unforgiving United States government. During Oppie's days as a professor of theoretical physics, a discovery is made in Germany where scientists were able to split the uranium atom. A dark cloud of horror and intrigue falls over Robert and his peers as the destructive potential of this discovery dawns on them and subsequently ignites a race against the Nazis and the Soviets to turn this scientific discovery into a weapon, one capable of killing hundreds of thousands of people. A singular genius that Oppie is, the military recruits him to lead the project. We see not only the painstaking scientific process, but also the striking moral dilemma facing all of those involved in creating this ungodly technology. Oppenheimer's struggles in dealing with the burden of his destructive genius drive him down a path of righteous advocacy for international nuclear policy. Therein lies the power of knowledge, of scientific community, and the sharing of ideas, of understanding the impact of our actions. What are the more powerful driving forces behind human action? Narcissism, guilt, compassion, fear, or others? Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer searches through them all.
You know, for Oppenheimer, I would say that that's a short summary.
I did the best that I could.
Yeah. No. For a feels completely like its runtime 3-hour Oppenheimer. I mean, I'll give it away. It is good. It's still. But you feel the length of this film, the full length of this film. But no, very good, David. Very good. To you, Jenny. Let's get our dessert synopses and go to Barbie. Barbie's short summary.
Should I read this in my finest Barbie voice?
Oh, no. Please.
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, I will.
Give us a flavoring, yes.
Hi, I'm Barbie. The sun rises on the perfect plastic world of Barbieland, and we meet Barbie, the most popular of all the Barbies. I'll stop it there. Our stereotypical
No, it's okay.
Barbie is.
Continue, please.
Oh no,
It was quite good.
We're gonna keep going. Okay.
Yeah, please.
Our stereotypical Barbie is living a carefree life in her dream house until one day she wakes up and starts to experience un-Barbie thoughts and phenomena. She seeks advice from a weird version of Barbie who tells her that the human world. Oh, excuse me. Wow, I just totally screwed that up. I'm going to cut the Barb voice because I'm screwing it up. Who tells her that the human who is playing with her needs help and she needs to travel to the real world to discover her true purpose. With her hitchhiking sorta kinda boyfriend, Ken, the two travel beyond Barbieland and discover the joys and perils of what it means to be human, batteries not included.
Ooh, very nice. Very nice, Jenny. Very nice. Both of you.
Very nice and short.
Oh,
Yes,
thank
well
you.
done.
Thank you,
Again.
Barbie.
Thank you, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. All right. So the way that we're going to do this and encounter and try and unravel this double feature, we're going to go across the bow here for all three of us. And we have, as we have set a standard, a bestest thing about the film, worstest thing about the film, thing that was half-baked. What we will allow ourselves, however, to do is that your bestest, worstest, and half-baked item can come from either film. So it can be from one film or the other. It doesn't have to be exclusive to one cinematic masterpiece or the other. Jenny, as you had the better Barbie voice and the shorter summary, let's start with you. What was your bestest thing about either film that you just walked away with?
I'm just going to put this on the table right now. There have been many great moments in Ryan Gosling's acting career. Ryan flippin' Gosling, this is his moment. He absolutely stole every single scene that he was in with Barbie, period. There was not a moment where I wasn't laughing and enjoying Ken as a character. It was just, if I don't see a nomination of some kind for his work on Barbie, I will be shocked.
Oh, I won't be.
Well, not
to say that it wasn't brilliant.
Yeah.
Not to say that it wasn't brilliant. He was very funny and acted tremendously well. I just don't think that there's enough substance there.
Do you believe? Because I don't know that this will be your bestest thing, and forgive me if it is, David. But David, do you believe for Margot Robbie there would be a nomination? Because I think we can all agree that there will be nominations coming off of this film. Surprisingly,
so?
as that might have been.
I mean, yeah. I think there will be more for
conceptual and director.
Conceptual reason, but like not even necessarily because it's the best directed movie or even among the best directed movies of the year. I don't think it is. I think because of what it is.
Interesting.
And the statement that it's making and people's reaction to it, that it will receive attention in the awards season.
I'm going to agree with David on this one. I don't know that he will get a nomination for this, Jenny. However, I can certainly appreciate a great performance. I love Ryan Gosling. You will not find a bigger man crush in my archive than Ryan Gosling. I very much enjoyed his comedy, his timing, his interpretation of the character. I thought it was. I echo all your sentiments, David. Your bestest thing across the bow.
I'm going to spoil the rest of this whole discussion here. I think Oppenheimer is one of the greatest films I've ever seen.
Really?
I think it is among the greatest films that I've ever seen.
Wow.
I've never made it a secret that I'm a huge Christopher Nolan fan. I'm shocked that you're shocked.
I'm not shocked that you're. I'm not shocked that you're a huge Christopher Nolan fan. I'm shocked that
you're shocked that I think it's one of the greatest. Yeah. I mean, it is a cinematic masterpiece, and trying to pick the best thing from this film, because the best thing certainly did not come from Barbie. As much as I had fun watching it, I'm going to say, if I'm picking one element of this film, the acting, whatever, just all of it is amazing. I'm going to choose something that may not be the first thing on one's mind. The sound in this film.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
I truly believe I could have gone in there wearing a blindfold and still understood the story and just been blown away by the sound design of this film. Not just the score, but everything. It is unbelievable.
I couldn't agree more.
Since you're going specifically sound, David, did you agree? It sounds like you did, but did you agree with the choice that when the bomb goes off initially to not have a big, spoilers?
Well, that's just science.
That's just history and science,
no, that's just the way science would work. Because when the bomb goes off, you don't hear anything because it's 10 miles away, so it takes longer for the sound to reach you. So you'd see the flash instantly, or what we perceive as instantly. The speed of light is only so fast, but we would see that instantly, and then it would take some seconds before we heard the sound. So that's just scientifically accurate.
Interesting, because you're right, and I think a lesser movie would have just paired the two and then gotten it over with. So that was something that I took noteworthy of.
I think there was a big shift in sci-fi maybe like 10 years ago, with especially I think it was highlighted. It was really prominently observed in Gravity, the movie Gravity with Sandra Bullock, because that was like, oh, it's so scientifically accurate. There was no sound in space or whatever. They didn't, and that's where I think a lot of that high level science fiction changed from being like boom boom bang out in space and to wanting to be a lot more scientifically accurate. So. Okay. I think this movie really is just following along that trend.
Yes. Bestest thing for me about the film, I'm going to cheat a little myself. I think that the bestest thing about these films are that both movies demand a rewatch for completely different reasons.
Oh, definitely.
But it's fascinating that both of these movies are, like as I mentioned earlier, paired and going to continue to hold each other's hand going down into the history books for different reasons. But where Barbie, I think, would be an enjoyable rewatch to figure out more of the analogies and comparisons the films makes both overtly and subtly. I think it demands a rewatch for the ending just to understand it more, as it is somewhat conceptualized, as the majority of characters get a happy ending, plain see-through, good, finish where you may ending. The penultimate ending, where Barbie is in this theoretical dream world and akin to heaven or idea, I don't know. It takes a bit, when I think for the majority of the film, while your mind is engaged, I don't think my mind was not in that place. So for us to ascend there, I was like, ooh, I want to hear all this again. I want the subtitles so I can hear better, kind of thing. I wanted to read each and every word. However, I think Oppenheimer requires a rewatch to understand the film to completion, as finer details can be lost in the spectacle, as well as cameo shock and awe, because the cameos in this film, unlike many others that obviously have cameos up the wazoo, I think this was a dual-fold cameo film that was a cameo both in the actor who portrayed whatever role he or she was portraying, or the part itself, because I didn't realize that Oppenheimer was at such a central point in time that you could incorporate just so many historical figures in both American history and world history. So I was like, oh, I didn't realize that this person would be tied into this overarching story. And it's also played by such and such. And in having that brain ADHD squirrel mind, I would lose what I believe to be some of the finer details that I'm sure when I looked back at this film, I was like, I believe that this probably made sense, but I just lost it in a detail going back to 1/8 of the film in. So I enjoyed that both films demand a rewatch, an enjoyable rewatch, but demand it, and it was but don't reside on that.
I would say, if you were unfortunate enough to watch Oppenheimer not in a premium showing, IMAX or Dolby, whatever
millimeter
option you have, especially from a sound perspective, if you did not see it in IMAX or whatever other option you have there, see it in IMAX, please.
Please do yourselves a favor.
If you're gonna rewatch it, spend the extra money, go see it in IMAX. Jenny and I agree.
I didn't get a chance to go see it in IMAX, so that's
you need to.
A worthy.
If you're going to rewatch it, do it before it leaves the IMAX theaters.
Seriously, Phil, it will blow your mind. I was in second row, 70 millimeter in in my theater, and the experience of the bomb dropping, the sound of it, I jumped. I was actually shocked. Like, just the way that the sound portrayed the traveling of everything during that moment. Oh my gosh. It reminded me why it's so important that we go see movies in the theater, to hear the way that people create these movies, to be seen and heard in this way. Please do yourselves a favor, guys. We're going to say it over and over again. Go see Oppenheimer, especially in the theaters.
Yeah. With that being said, let's sloppily transition and segue into the worst thing about either film. David, you went second in the last one. Let's get you first on this one.
I will say the worst thing, just again, spoilers. The worst thing about Oppenheimer, this is, if I had to pick a worst thing about Oppenheimer, and this is not my worst thing, I'm cheating here. It's Teller, the character Teller, has like gray hair, and like at the end of the movie, they show him older and he has gray hair. That gray hair looked terrible. It did not look like gray hair at all. That's the only critique of this movie that I have. Okay, the worst thing about either of these movies, Mattel having the nerve to acknowledge the damage they've done to the psyche of women and girls, but in the end hint that there's some kind of hero, I think is kind of the worst thing about this movie, that is championing feminism. And I was kind of like, especially after I talked to my sister about it, because she went to go see it a few days afterwards, and I thought that was, I was like, that's cheeky. No, you don't get away with that. Sorry, Mattel.
Jenny, worstest thing about either film for you?
I would like to just mention that I'm going to say over and over again, I had an amazing time watching Oppenheimer, but I have a hearing problem. And the way that the music was done for Oppenheimer was very much like an opera, where music was underneath all of these important scenes with information. Yes. Very much like
I know where you're going.
I couldn't understand a third of the movie just because the music was slightly louder than the conversations. And I was really sad about that.
I thought the mixing at times overlapped the dialogue, especially, I don't know if you felt like this, Jenny, but during the Robert Downey Jr. scenes, where I was like, I see some really good stuff, but I'm missing it. I was like, why is it getting washed out with the audio of whatever's in the background?
Interesting. I didn't get that at all. I really
Maybe
didn't.
It was because of where I was sitting in the theater.
Maybe.
And I did not go to IMAX Super Ultra Visual 4D, somebody spitting in your face while the bomb goes off experience like you two did. Yeah, David's like,
don't do 4D. Don't do 4D.
No, don't. No, that hurts.
Don't
your
see
eyes.
it in that theater.
Don't see a nuclear bomb movie in 4D. Okay.
But I completely agree with you, Jenny. There were scenes is a bit much, but there were certainly pivotal moments that I felt like I lost details on simply because of the mix of dialogue. And again, that could be me, somebody who absolutely adores, depends on, and needs subtitles for a film. Usually, like whenever I have a home experience. So maybe that's just my own lack of comprehension and my blind spot. But
you're not alone. I heavily rely on captions because I don't know what it is about my hearing, but I do have a slight hearing loss, and I have issues with trying to like my brain picks and chooses the loudest thing in the room is the thing I'm going to focus on, and that's kept happening during Oppenheimer, and I was pretty upset. But that will actually lead me to watch it again, so I can make sure that I have when it comes to streaming, I'll put on captions, and I will absorb every single beautiful word on that script.
Agreed. Funny enough, I think that it's funny that while we all have something worse to say about Oppenheimer, even though it's probably critically going to fare historically much better than Barbie. But the movie, for me, the worstest thing about either film, the movie is called Oppenheimer, not the big bomb or boom boom the blockbuster, which means I am amongst the many who should have known better than to think that the movie would be exclusively about and leading up to the making of the bomb. Yet instead we are tasked to ask ourselves, is the life of the man interesting enough to overcome the inevitable downbeat story-wise that follows the awe-inspiring detonation of the bomb, which comes within the earlier side of 2/3 of the way through the film, meaning that there's I'd even say a crescendo, but a natural uptick of interest that happens when they're racing against time, they're racing against the elements, they're racing against all this blah 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 blah, and there's this hurried rush and awe to get to the bomb. You watch the bomb, you see the bomb go bibbity boobity boom, and then afterwards it's just and there's more. There's a substantial amount left, and again, knowing that, I think it will be more favorable in a rewatch. And but again, that was just something that perhaps I'm alone, perhaps I'm of the minority, perhaps I'm of the majority. I believe I'm part of the masses in this, where I arrogantly thought that it would be more focused about the bomb than what it ultimately ended up being. It was one of the 3 stories interwoven, maybe one of the 4 interwoven, and that led me to place more of an importance on that storyline as opposed to any of the others.
If I may,
yes.
I think that's how the movie overcame its fundamental disadvantage as a concept, because as an audience, we know the US won that race. They developed the bomb first. We know they tested it, and we know they dropped it on the Japanese. So we know all that happened. So we knew if the movie was about the bomb, we'd have known exactly where it was going. But the movie's not about the bomb. It's about Oppenheimer. It's about the scientific community and the struggles that they went through. It's about the movement after the World War II, led by Oppenheimer, to create an international alliance around atomic energy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, which even though many people do already, because that is written, in history books, and a lot of people maybe don't understand that element of it, and so that's what the movie is telling, the story that most people, I would say, don't know, and that's correct. Oppenheimer's story.
Yes. So again, it's probably telling that the worstest thing about it could be a personal flaw of mine of just arrogance and ignorance, but that is what it is. All right, let's go with things that was half baked, and I'll start us off here. Alan, had to find something in here for this, but everyone and everything got an ending in Barbie. Everybody got a mention. But what became of Alan? Because he felt like the odd duck in this entire film. And I get that was maybe his thing, his existence. But was his ending that he was surprisingly a good karate master or whatever it took? Side note, the Barbieland Jenga wall bit was hilarious, and I will beat myself at that, because that is worth the F word. That was hilarious when it's like, when they figure out how to get that horizontal, it's all over. That was hilarious. But back to the half-baked thing. Alan, just Michael Cera, just to be there for Michael Cera part?
I think so.
Yeah, it was out of a movie where everything felt purposeful and pointed and even had depth to it. That was just a bit for a bit's sake, so I think it was just oddly distracting.
I do think Alan. it was kind of a bit like there were, both of these movies have like cameos all over the place.
Oh yeah,
all over,
whereas
decorated.
Barbie just sort of shoehorned them in there. Yeah. Oppenheimer was, I think there were roles to be played, and a bunch of super high profile actors were like, I want to be in this movie. Please let me be in this movie, and that's the difference.
So Jenny. What would you say was your half-baked idea or thing that ended up in either film?
Just the fact that that Barbie was a movie that was created by a toy company who know very well that this movie will boost sales for them. There were times where I felt like I wasn't watching a movie and I was just watching an ad. Where like certain moments popped up, like, oh, remember this pant? Remember this coat? Oh, remember when this happened? Like, I mean, also they're educating the history of Barbie to the masses, to this generation, that at least that I've seen, Barbie's not that present in terms of how often it gets played with in children's bedrooms, etc. But it just felt like at one point they were really pushing, like, oh, you see this? You should buy it. Oh, here's all the different versions. I felt like it was pushing for people to expand their collections, to consider for fanatics, they should keep buying Barbies, which they should, because it's a company. They're going to want to make sure that their company doesn't die. Just, I don't know. That was the one thing that kind of irked me, minus what David's already mentioned. Just like, oh, well, it just feels, I feel kind of squirmy, icky that this is just kind of selling Barbie to me like this.
You have the producers wanting this to be, like you say, an ad.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the director, Greta Gerwig, who I do really like, making huge statements for feminism. And I think in all that mess, it didn't feel like a well-rounded story to me.
Wow, I'm shocked. I really enjoyed Barbie. And it sounds like you didn't, David. And maybe it was just the letdown.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was okay. Like I thought it was funny at times. I thought the first 10 minutes, I was like, oh no, this is a big joke. I don't know if I can sit through a 2-hour joke.
I would agree with that.
Then it started to get somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
The way it wraps up, I thought was kind of, I don't know. I didn't appreciate,
Did it feel like they had to figure out an ending? They didn't have one, and they were like, oh, maybe she just becomes human.
A little bit
your
like
own
that.
Ending.
Yeah, and anyway, my half-baked thing is Will Ferrell. I thought that Will Ferrell, I love Will Ferrell.
Okay.
I love Will Ferrell. I thought they underused him.
Okay.
Interesting.
Oh, thank God. Yes.
I really, truly thought they underused Will Ferrell. I think he's brilliant. I think he's so funny. And he kind of gave the same energy all the way through. And he was kind of the villain of the movie, and yet he wasn't in it as much as the villain should be, I think. So,
well, he was one of several, if you count spoilers.
I guess.
If you count Ken for the second act as being the main villain.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. I thought that you were going to say Will Ferrell not funny or something, and so I would have.
I don't think he was. I don't think he was as funny as he could have been, and that's kind of the point. Like, I like Will Ferrell a lot. He could have done a lot more.
Going back to an earlier idea and discussion, just to put a fine point on it, David, I honestly wonder if having seen this after what you declared to be one of your
that
favorite...
certainly didn't help. My girlfriend and I went to go see it together. She's also a big film buff. She studied film in college, and she really liked Barbie. But she was like, "I wish we hadn't seen it after watching one of the greatest cinematic masterpieces of our generation."
Seriously,
I think giving that a breath would have elevated Barbie for you.
I think so too.
Because for me, I thoroughly enjoyed Barbie. I didn't have the awe and adoration for Oppenheimer, and as much I still think it's a great film. I don't know if one of the best cinematic films of a lifetime, let alone of all time, is accredited to it in my personal opinion. But if you were to have that, then seeing Barbie, anything's going to be a letdown, even if it is good. So Barbie would be interesting. Fascinating. So we've reached the end, near the end of this segment, and putting Barbenheimer to a close. The question becomes, and I doubt that it's going to not be a resounding yes, but is there any brave soul amongst us three who says you should not see any or either of these films? David?
No, I think go see both. Maybe not on the same day, though. That was a fun thing to do. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It was a thing,
after opening weekend, I don't think there's any point in going to see them on the same day. But I think you should see them both. I'm going to see Oppenheimer again. I want to take my mom. My mom's a big fan of going to the movies, and I know she'll enjoy this movie. I want to take my dad too, but it's hard to get him, out the house to go to the movies. He's not a movies kind of guy. But he would love. I'm going to see this again, and I want to see it in IMAX one more time before it leaves the IMAX theaters. Yeah, absolutely.
Jenny?
I highly recommend seeing both these movies, but I do agree that you really don't need to see both on the same day. It's just for the trend. Like it's
not going to make either movie better.
No, if anything,
I agree.
Yeah, if anything, it just. I wish I had more time to process Oppenheimer, but I had to hop right into Barbie, and I mean,
right.
I would definitely agree that Oppenheimer was one of the best cinematic experiences that I've ever had in my life, going to the theaters. Just the way that the impact, the power of everything that happened on that screen was incredible. I would love to see, if I have the time, I would love to see Oppenheimer one more time in the theaters. I want to just listen to the words again. I want to just watch the detail, and I want to witness that sound design again. I want to see those moments on screen one more time. Just incredible. Phil?
I would definitely say go see these two films with the big ass caveat that I think both films share
caveat?
Big ass caveat. Yes. It's a big
An
booty.
caveat.
It's a thick caveat, and thick with two C's. I think that both movies, just as they both deserve and demand a rewatch, I think that while Barbie should be seen by all and Oppenheimer should be seen by all, I think that both films are not going to be for all. I think Oppenheimer is exquisitely dialogue heavy and can get lost upon the general masses. And more so being a defendant and champion for Barbie, which I apparently will take the mantle of this episode. I think that a good majority of the people that it does not appeal to, it is exactly who the message should be for. And I think one thing that was surprising for me walking out of that film was that I knew going in that it would hold a resonance and strong emotional ties for women, girls, and anybody, feminism as a broad spectrum. I knew that it was going to be smart, witty. Greta Gerwig has a history of doing that and a wonderful and just compassionate storytelling in that regard. What I did not expect was having a moral, an ethic, and a story and a resounding message for men as well. That was both poignant, I felt connective, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it that I just simply did not expect going into that film. So I think that if you are just abhorrently turned off by the idea of Barbie, thinking it's a girl's film, I will be one of those who say that it is not. It is not, and it is not meant for just girls. It can be enjoyed by all and should be enjoyed by all. Although I suppose if you're going to go in there with blinders on, then maybe I guess it is not the film for you. Although all should see both. Jenny, with that, let's start off with you. What are some fun facts about Barbie?
Here we go. Barbie facts. So, I learned that during the making of the film, Greta Gerwig insisted upon the cast having bonding experiences with each other. They had cast slumber parties and something that they called movie church. They would gather at a movie theater in Notting Hill where they were filming, and they would watch movies all together relevant to the Barbie storyline. In the case of the summer parties, they would just book a hotel and stay the night. And the Kens were not where they were allowed to stop by, but they were not allowed to sleep over. Hence, girls' night.
I was going to say, where did the Ken sleep? And nobody knew.
Nobody knew. But he did have a little moment. He didn't want his absence to go unnoticed. So he sent a singing telegram in the form...
Who's he, Ryan Gosling?
Yes, Mr. Gosling. Ryan Gosling. In the form of a Scotsman dressed in a kilt, playing the bagpipes and reciting lines from Braveheart. Like, what? That's so random.
Just like outside the hotel, just like John, what is it with the boom box just outside, but instead it's a guy in a kilt singing, "Hell yeah, freedom."
Yes, exactly. So it's mentioned and it's pretty clear that all the things that happen in Barbieland are inspired by the way that children play with Barbie, including the detail that Barbie floats down from her house. She doesn't take the stairs, she floats down. This is a nod to the fact that a lot of early Barbie Dreamhouse designs did not actually have stairs inside of them that Barbie can walk down on. So any child playing with a doll would just have her float from one floor to the next, or just literally float all the way down to her car. So a lot of those, and also too, we could see that with the different dimensions, knowing that Barbie is one size and everything was slightly smaller, hence the large hairbrushes. One more big fact for you. This is the first theatrically released live action movie to be based on a doll line since Bratz in 2007. And on the topic of Bratz, have you heard there is a rumor going around about this movie that there is a secret Bratz reference?
Oh.
In the scene where Barbie speaks up to the 4 girls at the lunch table when she meets Sasha, people have noticed that the 4 girls' names are Sasha, Jade, Yasmin, and Chloe, and those match the names of the 4 main Bratz dolls. Coincidence? I think not. They also look very similar in terms of hairstyle and clothing, so I say that was a secret Bratz reference. Good on you, Greta Gerwig. 4 for you.
Multiverse of dolls. Look at that. Very nice. I thought that the conception for Barbie, Jenny, was exquisite. Like the scenic design, it felt like its own world. I thought it was brilliant. Everything in Barbieland was absolutely brilliant. That was my
That
thought.
paint shortage paid off.
Even if the dream house did have stairs, what kid is taking the time to walk their Barbie down the stairs?
Yeah.
If you're playing house, then why not? Anyway.
David, fun facts for Sloppy Oppie.
It's got a couple of fun facts.
No.
As we know, certain scenes are in black and white, and some are in color. I'm sure you may have seen already that. As it turns out, I was having a sort of debate with my girlfriend about which one, what it meant, and like why, and it wasn't just flashbacks and flash forwards.
Was it not just exclusively during Robert Downey's track?
No, it was not. Oh. So for scenes that were sort of told from the perspective of J. Robert Oppenheimer, they were in color, and for more objective scenes, for example, in fact, all of the Robert Downey, the hearing scenes, those were in black and white. In order for the black and white sections of this movie to be shot in the same quality as the rest of the film, Kodak developed the first ever black and white film stock for IMAX.
Wow.
Very, very cool.
The pull of Christopher Nolan.
Seriously.
Another fact for you guys, Matt Damon was on a break from acting as a promise to his wife, with one condition. It would go on hold if Christopher Nolan called. As luck would have it, Nolan offered Damon the role of Leslie Groves, the general that you see in the movie.
Great performance.
And that break went on hold.
Yes,
very great. Yeah.
Brief pause on the facts. Performance was great. Matt Damon did a fantastic job.
We didn't go over this, and I'm so sorry to interrupt your fun facts, but I think you'll enjoy this. Guys, who was your favorite cameo? Mine was Gary Oldman as President Truman.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I looked at it and I was like, that's Gary Oldman.
That was Gary Oldman?
Oh, my God. Look at, see.
You didn't know?
Yeah. Oh, no. And you know the one scientist who was like the Russian in the back was just whatever. I didn't realize that was the Spots guy from the Suicide Squad. I can't think of his name, but he's
David Desmalchian.
Yes, thank you. I always forget, and I was like, that guy doesn't look real, and I was like, so it wasn't.
He doesn't look real.
He doesn't look real. He looks like he's got some prosthetics on, and then I looked back and I was like, great performance, just I don't know, kind of looked odd as a person. But Gary Oldman, favorite cameo in the entire film.
Right.
David, more fun facts.
All right. The score for the film doesn't feature any drums. Christopher Nolan and composer Ludwig Göransson both agreed that the sounds typically associated with military wouldn't be an authentic representation musically of the character of J. Robert Oppenheimer. And I'm going to squeeze one more cheat fact in here.
Do it.
No CGI shots were used in this film. And I don't know any more reason to love Christopher Nolan. There it is.
All right, so this week we've got our one of our classic segments, Bite Me, where we each bring something to the table that has irked us this week, and we just want to share with the world that this is annoying, this is stupid. Society, fix this. Mine this week is... Can we just talk about how zone-based ticket purchasing services are just stupid? I had to buy tickets this week for an event in September, and it doesn't allow me to choose what my seats are. I get assigned my seats when I purchase the number of tickets. And that is so frustrating because if you can't see where you're sitting, there's a chance you'll get gypped on the experience. It's just so much better to be able to pick the seats that you want to sit in and control where it's located. And also, too, you can't go backwards in buying any tickets. if someone decides they want to join you on the experience, there's no guarantee that the person will be able to sit next to you. I just think that's stupid. If you disagree with me, bite me.
What I'm curious. I haven't run into this. What event? Like what arena of event is this? Is this a dinner? Is this a roller coaster? Is this a movie? What is
It's
this? Is
a
it a
burlesque
concert?
show that I purchased for, and
okay.
It's like a touring burlesque
Fascinating.
show. Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay. I've never had to deal with it. Have you, David? Have you had to deal with that?
No.
Yeah,
Not
zone seating. Yeah, no bite. No biting here, Jenny. Very good. All right. Pizza sauce is a better accompaniment than marinara sauce. Marinara sauce is merely I'm looking at you, Hoffman. Marinara sauce is merely an excuse to taste a tomato-forward concoction. But if you want to have a sauce that was intended to blend with breads and other starches, try requesting pizza sauce on the side instead. And if you don't agree, you can bite me.
This is a very American bite me, because marinara has this thing with American people. They sort of couple all tomatoed sauces under the name marinara, and marinara is a very specific tomato sauce. And pizza sauce, that's not even a thing in the rest of the world. You just use a very simple tomato sauce for a margarita pizza. Anyway, you do you, Philip. You only get one cup holder at the movies.
Yeah,
I know this should be something most people agree with, but apparently some people still need reminding. You can use both cup holders, sure, until I come and sit down next to you, buddy. Then you get your crap out of my cup holder. We all want to enjoy a tasty beverage. And if you can't handle that, bite me.
Well, the question becomes, though, David, what if it's just a math problem? Like you're sitting next to a left-handed person and the person on your right, like they're...
I'm sorry, left-handed people. 90% of people are right-handed.
So you're saying...
And I'm the 10%. What you got? What's good?
You can drink your beverage with your right hand. It's not going to kill you.
So, David, you're saying that the designated cup holder for each person in a theater is the right one. The right one is the one that you get.
Yeah, because otherwise you get if 10 people in a row have chosen the left one and then the 10 people on the other side of you have chosen the right one, you're left with nothing.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we all have to agree on one or the other. It's either left or right. Sorry, majority rules. It's the right one. Bite me, Jenny.
That's the only time you will find all three hosts in agreement on the right side of things.
Looking to streamline your busy schedule? Looking for a helping hand for life's endeavors? Details by Claire is here to make your life easier. Visit www.detailsbyclaire.com to explore a wide range of services, including calendar management, website creation, and even voiceover work. Claire's attention to detail and dedication to her clients are unmatched. Don't let the game of life overwhelm you. Visit www.detailsbyclaire.com today and discover the convenience and expertise of Details by Claire. Well, it is time for a game, as we do almost every week. I know it's been a struggle since I've been gone the last few weeks, but I'm back and I've created a game for you guys. But first, I believe you have some fun little questions.
Some burning questions, yes. David,
if questions burn, contact your doctor.
What toy-branded world would you wish to live in and be a part of? Obviously, we saw a majority of the world of Barbie, and it's something. Doesn't seem like it's fulfilling as far as if you want an actual drink of water. But besides that, seemed fine if you were a Barbie or a Ken and you just enjoyed beach. David, where would you live?
Am I limited to toy collections that do not specifically come from a movie franchise? For example, Star Wars toys would just be the Star Wars universe.
Yeah,
surely.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
so not that.
Yeah, not that. Yeah, just toys.
I think maybe it would be nice to live in a toy branded universe that's all around stuffed toys. I think that sounds like a very cozy, comfy, loving place to be.
Like Care Bears?
And I would enjoy that. Just, I don't know, stuffed toys.
Yeah. Jenny, we can pick either one, but whoever we want him to live in, he's all for the snuggles and the cuddles.
Yeah, just Just fluffy, fun
Me
times.
too.
Yeah,
Those are pretty great.
Jenny.
Is there, so this might take some time. Is there, which major historical figure do you think should be the next great film? Or should be the next biopic film? Or is there a historical figure that you think deserves a better adaptation to be created for modern audiences?
I'm not sure that this doesn't already exist, but I would feel confident in saying that it's not. If it does exist, it's not well known, and I certainly haven't seen it. There are movies about Nelson Mandela, and I'm from South Africa, so I was born there, and so it's close to my heart. I think he was
that came out
just
with Idris Elba.
In the last years of his life, just one of the most admirable human beings ever. And the way that he chose a path of forgiveness and reconciliation and rebuilding and camaraderie is just wonderful. But I would love to see a movie about his entire life, because he had a very different approach. He was a freedom fighter in South Africa during apartheid before he went to prison, and he was branded by the apartheid government as a terrorist in his earlier days. So I would actually be interested in seeing a movie about his entire life. You know, you
2013,
several
Mandela.
different actors play him, but
2013 Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom, Idris Elba, I believe, was rumored to have been nominated. He gives such a good performance, but I don't think he actually did get the nomination that year.
Do you know what frame it did it cover his earlier life and his later life?
It says Long Walk to Freedom, a biographical film. I never got a chance to see it.
That's the name of his book, of Nelson Mandela's book, A Long Walk to Freedom, which he wrote, I believe, in prison. So
yeah, it says though he had humbled beginnings as a herd boy in a rural village, so maybe they touch on it. I've never seen it.
Well, maybe I should go see that movie. I think that was on my list for a while, and then I never got around to seeing it. But anyway,
there you go.
Maybe Nelson Mandela. All right, time for my game.
Let's do it.
I have created a game that should be fun. I don't know if it'll be easy or somewhat tricky. I have a list of 12 quotes from Oppenheimer.
Oh, okay.
And Barbie. And I want you two to buzz in as soon as you know which movie the quote came from, and you will get a bonus point. So you get 1 point for guessing the movie. You'll get a bonus point for naming the character who said it.
Oh,
naming
spicy. Let's do this.
The character who
that's
said
gonna
it.
be so hard with Oppenheimer, because I'll be like, guy with glasses.
You can pull up a list of the cast if you want.
Okay. Then
I would suggest you both do that.
I'm working
I might
on it
have
right
to
now.
as well, because I have the names written down here, but I don't necessarily know who to attach the face to the name. You know. Okay. You should each pick a buzzer. Let's.
I'm gonna go with sloppy.
No.
Sloppy.
Phil, come on.
Okay, I'll go with something.
I'll do Barbie.
And I'll go, to keep on with the B themed, I will go with Big Bomb.
Fine. Okay, your first quote is, "That's life. It's all change."
Big Bomb.
Philip?
Barbie. I'm gonna say the original Barbie, the original Barbie creator.
Point for the movie, yes.
Okay.
But no point for the character. It was in fact Gloria who said that.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Dang
Gloria
it.
is the mom.
That's right. I knew it was from a mothering perspective, and I was like, okay. Very good.
All right. Humans have only one ending. Ideas live forever.
Big Bomb.
Jenny.
Philip.
Oppenheimer. Let's go with Tom Conti as Albert Einstein.
Wrong. Incorrect. It was from Barbie, and it was Ruth, the original creator of Barbie. Humans have only one ending. Ideas live forever. I'm glad that some of these are going to be somewhat ambiguous, because I was worried that they would be a little too obvious.
Oh, you didn't write down "Yay, space" as a quote.
speech.
Darn it.
Which one was that from?
It is 1-0 in favor of Philip. Quote number 3. It may not be your fault, but it's your problem.
Barbie.
Ooh, Jenny, tell me.
I think it's Oppenheimer for sure. I mean, the cast list. I'm just gonna go out.
Can I guess
on
the
limb.
character if she gets it incorrect?
Sure.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna go.
You are correct about the movie, by the way. It is from
Oh, sweet! I get the point. Great. I'm going to say Albert Einstein.
Incorrect, Philip.
I was going to go with Ernest Lawrence, Josh Hartnett's Ernest Lawrence.
Incorrect. It was said by Oppenheimer.
Oh.
Don't ask me what point in the movie this was said. I do not know. So Jenny gets a point.
Yes.
No one gets the bonus point.
Darn it.
Quote number 4. You're not just self-important. You're actually important.
Philip. Or Big Bomb. Big Bomb. Big Bomb.
Yes, Philip.
Let's go with Barbie. And it is said by...
I'll steal it if you get it wrong.
I'm going to stop you right there. It's not from Barbie. It's from Oppenheimer.
Oh.
And it was said by Lawrence. Who is Lawrence? I don't even know.
Wait, is it said by Matt Damon's character?
No, that's his name is General
Leslie Groves.
Leslie Groves, that's
okay.
right.
Lawrence.
Lawrence is...
Looking through the list right now.
Yeah, he's played by Josh Hartnett. He's the
guy with the glasses.
experimental physicist. Yeah, Josh Hartnett plays Ernest Lawrence. All right, no points for that question. Quote number 5. The president is here.
Big Bob. Big Bob.
Philip almost buzzed Jenny in there.
Let's go with Barbie. And let's go with, I don't know what her stereotypical Barbie would be.
Yeah, Barbie is the correct answer. Yes. Bonus point included. That is 3 points total for you now, Philip. 1 for you, Jenny. Our next quote is, I don't take anything on trust.
Barbie.
Jenny.
It's definitely Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Definitely is. That's a point for you.
I'm going to guess Teller said it.
Incorrect. You do get the point for the movie. Mm-hmm. You are now at 2 points, but it was said by General Groves, played by Matt Damon.
Dang it.
Oh, that's right. It's so funny how I can connect it once you say it. Oh,
right. Man. That's how the brain works. Yeah, all right. Quote number 7. You can know the truth about the universe.
Barbie.
Yes, Jenny.
That is definitely Kate McKinnon's Weird Barbie in Barbie.
Yes, it is.
Very nice.
The actual quote starts with or you can know the truth about the universe.
The first
so
one.
So that's a double point for you.
The first one.
Yeah, well done. It's now, Jenny, you've taken the lead. 4 points to 3. We move on. Quote number 8. We have to always be extraordinary.
Big Bomb.
Yes, Philip.
That would be Barbie, and that would be America Ferrera's character as when she's giving her whole speech about the contradiction of women.
The mom character, Gloria.
The mom character.
Yes. Yes, that is true. 2 points for you, Philip. It is now 5-4. We're neck and neck.
Woo.
Quote number 9. The world is changing, reforming. This is your moment.
Barbie.
Yes, Jenny.
This is definitely Oppenheimer.
Yes, correct.
I want to guess if she guesses wrong.
Yes, of course. You'll get a chance.
Whoever said it, though. Can you say it one more time? Changing. I know I got it right. Can you say it one more time?
The world is changing, reforming. This is your moment.
I want to... my brain went to Kitty Oppenheimer first, but I don't think that's the correct answer.
Just like the bomb, Jenny. Time's ticking. 3,
yep.
2.
I'll go with Kitty. I know I'm not right. I'll just say Kitty.
That's a double point. That's the correct answer.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
You got it right. You take the lead back from Philip.
I should trust my gut. Jeez.
You really should. Philip, what were you going to say?
I was going to go with Louis Strauss, Robert Downey Jr., so I guess I can't be too upset, but golly.
All right. Just in time, too, Jenny. Well done. Quote number 10. It is 6 points to you, Jenny, and 5 points to Philip. Quote number 10. This is just how the game is played.
Big bomb.
Yes, Philip.
Well, okay, so this is Oppenheimer, but it's
Yes.
I'm gonna go with the guy who played Han Solo. I'm trying to look for his character. But
Han Solo.
Yeah, in God, who played Han Solo in Solo, the film.
Right, yeah, of course. Obviously not Harrison Ford.
Not Harrison Ford. But I believe it was also said by Lewis Strauss, Robert Downey Jr.'s character.
Alden Ehrenreich is the guy you're thinking.
Yes,
is the Senate aide. No, that is not correct. The correct answer is Lewis Strauss.
Either way, all right. Seems like we're tied, Jenny.
Yes, you are indeed tied at 6 points apiece.
And we're ready for that tiebreaker that David most certainly came up with.
Yeah. Quote number 11. Just remember, it won't be for you. It will be for them.
Big bomb.
Philip.
Oppenheimer. Ooh, let's go with flippity flappity. One flew over the cuckoo's nest. Let's go with Niels Bohr.
Oof, incorrect. That quote came from Einstein.
Oh.
Einstein said that.
Dang. That's right.
Just remember, it won't be for you. It will be for them.
Oh,
so that means that, Philip, you have a 1 point lead going into the final quote.
I can allow Jenny to get the movie. I can't allow her to get the character. Okay,
right,
good to know.
Exactly. Hot on your buzzers, ladies and gentlemen. I would beat you off right now.
Barbie, Ken. I cannot believe that you would create a game without involving Ken. Give it to me.
That is correct.
Yes! I would call foul because he didn't let you finish the quote, but that's just me.
Hey, you got to buzz in. I could have finished the quote and it could have turned out different. And you can buzz in as soon as you think you know.
I call foul, but you know, whatever.
That may bite you in the butt at some point. That is 9 points for you, Philip. 6 for you, Jenny. My tiebreaker is not that interesting. I was going to ask you guys, what is the combined budget of both films? Spoiler alert.
$2 million.
$245 million. Shockingly, Barbie, $145 million. Oppenheimer, only $100 million.
$100 million. I saw that, and I thought that was odd.
Impressively
low.
Yeah. Anyway, we move on. Ow.
That slaps. The part of the show where we come back with our weekly entertainment of the week. Jenny, what amused you this week?
On topic with our main topic, I thought pulling from the Barbie album would be appropriate this week. I have picked my favorite from the album is one that is not talked about enough. Hey Blondie by Dominic Fike is a groovy pop rock song. I adore the lyrics. I had the chance to listen to the album on the way over to the theater last night, and I think everyone should talk about it more. It's groovy, has great lyrics, like I said, and I unfortunately can't remember where in the movie it happens. But
hey Barbie,
bye Barbie. Just give yourself a favor and go take a listen to that song because I think it slaps.
My song of this week is "One of Us" by Betty Who. If you've ever heard Betty Who, I kind of find Betty Who to be like the Phil Collins of this generation. All of her stuff kind of starts to sound the same, but damn if I don't like that flavor. It's like the best type of soup you can have. Comfort and for your ears. "One of Us" by Betty Who. That slaps.
Guys, come on. Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
I mean, it had to be. A movie has not slapped me like this one in years. It is just
David turned
phenomenal.
around in his seat at the movie viewing just that way he could get slapped more.
Stop it. This movie is phenomenal. Go see it. It slaps. Guys, before we go on our outro, I just remembered I wanted to bring some stuff up. I listened to your episodes while I was absent.
Yeah.
And you did a Would You episode. And Philip, you asked the question, would you rather run a mile through 6 inches of potatoes, 6 inches deep of potatoes, or swim a quarter mile through maple syrup? And you guys agreed you'd choose the potatoes because you drown in the maple syrup because it's so thick it'd be hard to swim through.
Yes.
And you mentioned me. I can't remember what you said because it's irrelevant. Guys, maple syrup, easy.
What?
Easy.
Oh,
What?
come on.
The density of the human body is far lower than the density of maple syrup. You would float. You would float on maple syrup. So
I want a pool.
I would not.
Prove it to me.
I will not sprain my ankle running on potatoes. I will swim through maple syrup. It might take me a while, but it'll taste good, and I will not drown because I can just float on the top.
Well, there you go. There's
There you
David's
go.
answer.
Thank you very
All
much.
right. Well, we have a few thank yous before we finish this episode. First of all, Cass and Crossland and Jake Corlang, thank you guys for your musical contributions to the show. We love you.
Thanks to Ryan Ardell and Josh Hans for a lot of the audio bits you hear throughout the show. We love you as well.
Thank you to Rudy Chalk once again for your wonderful graphic work that you get to see on all of our social media.
And thank you, Barbie.
And thank you, the listener, for tuning into this extra long episode. We hope you've enjoyed. We have a lot of opinions that we had to hold back, or this would have been a 2-hour long episode.
No kidding.
But
Seriously.
anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. Spread the word. This is a fun podcast that we hope you want to share with some friends of yours. So spread the word. Follow us on our Instagram and our TikTok, Roast and Toast Pod. And tell your friends. Tune in next week. We're going to have more fun things to talk about. And you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, just anywhere except Pandora, because boom! Screw you, Pandora.
David, you're getting too big for your britches. If you don't stop this, I'm going to bear off.
Oh, I could bear you off right now.
Oh, you have never been bared off like I'm about to bear you off right now. I will bear you off all over this beach.
You've never
Guys.
seen bearing like I'm about to bear you.
Whoa, guys, no one is bearing each other off today.